So can you make a living off YouTube videos? Hey, what's going on guys? My name's Anthony, and today I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I get asked a lot. This is also a question I get asked when I'm introducing myself to people in the real world, shall I say, if I go out for dinner, if I meet friends, and you get the talking and the conversation about what you do. This is pretty much always how it starts. When you meet someone, you talk, okay, what do you do for work? What do you do for work? And then when you mention you do YouTube, the instant response that you get, and I think a lot of YouTubers can relate to this, is when you say you do YouTube, it is, can you earn money with that? Is that your full-time job? So what I want to do is I want to elaborate a little bit on that. Also give you some tips as well if you're a small creator looking to become a big creator, looking to maybe do YouTube as a full-time job one day, as I've been doing YouTube full-time for almost 6 years now over on my main channel. We also run multiple channels as well, which has over 2 million subscribers. So yeah, I have a little bit of experience with it, and again, doing it full-time. I want to use this opportunity to kind of give back to you guys, because I wish at my point in time when I was pursuing doing YouTube full-time, there was someone that I could maybe look up to, or maybe, see what they were thinking, see what kind of tips, advice they have. So I feel good if I can actually provide that for you and kind of answer some unanswered questions that you may be thinking. So can you make a living off doing YouTube videos? And the answer is yes, you can. Now bear in mind, this isn't going to be all roses. I'm going to get into a little bit of details and give you guys a little bit of tips and advice and things to look out for as well as you're pursuing this. Let's say you're a small creator looking to become a big creator and do this full time. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting, and I really hope you find this helpful. So how do you get paid from YouTube? You get paid from AdSense. Yes, the ads that you see on videos, whenever you click the videos, that is how YouTubers get paid. And I will get into more information about CPM and RPM, which will also play a role in how much you're earning from YouTube videos as well. What's the niche that you're doing that may help you too. But it all boils down to, if you're doing YouTube full time, is what your cost of living is going to be like. I can give you guys, again, some personal experience from me. So when I decided to do YouTube full time, it's always been my dream, but I always wanted to stay realistic as well. And I did YouTube part-time whenever I was working at a grocery store. I was earning next to nothing, and I was still doing YouTube part-time because I saw the potential in it one day, and that was one of my dreams. That was really when I was doing it, I was like, okay, this is like the best version of me. I feel like I can be creative. It just felt right. And it's always a good feeling when you're doing something, you're working towards something, and it just feels right. So I kept at it for years and years. I also got a full-time job after my part-time job. I was even working 2 jobs at the same exact time. So I worked from Monday to Friday, I believe, and then I worked on Saturday and Sunday at the part-time job. And then it became a point where it was like, okay, this isn't making sense. I can't really focus on YouTube. I'm not earning anything from this grocery store, so I'm just going to have my weekends free and I'm going to do YouTube. Now bear in mind, I was not making a living off YouTube at all. I was maybe earning just enough to maybe cover a phone bill or something like that, really small. Now this all depends on your cost of living, guys. If you're doing YouTube and you are living with your parents and you're earning money from YouTube, I suggest saving it. That is what most YouTubers do that I personally know who have maybe, they live with their parents, maybe they pay a little bit of small fee and they're also saving and growing on YouTube to eventually move out and venture on their own. Now, one big thing I want to point out with this is that I want you guys to really take advantage of this if you are a person in this position. If you're living with your parents and you are doing YouTube, whether that's part-time, full-time, and you're earning from YouTube, I highly suggest you save if that's already your goal, to save and eventually move out, of course, but take advantage of that opportunity of living with your parents and being able to do that, especially if you don't have to pay rent or anything like that. Me, on the other hand, when I was growing YouTube, I was pretty much on my own. I didn't stay with my parents. I didn't get the opportunity to kind of build YouTube to where I was earning a lot and being able to save and then eventually move out. So I had to kind of go out, get my own apartment. I had full-time job, part-time job, still did YouTube and things like that. But I enjoyed the process. This isn't a video video of me complaining about it at all. I enjoyed every single bit of it. The parts where I didn't earn anything from YouTube, the parts where it became my full-time job 5-6 years ago, I enjoy it, and I still enjoy it to this day. Now, this also all boils down to your cost of living. If your cost of living is super high and your YouTube income is not that high, then obviously you can't do it full-time. You always want to make sure that you are potentially spending less than what you're making, of course, on YouTube. And of course, at some point when you get a lot of earnings on YouTube, you do have to remember about taxes, guys. I'll get into maybe more detail about that at some point, but I don't want you to have this thought of, okay, because, you know, I think that also maybe ran through my mind, and a lot of people, when they kind of don't know anything about the platform just yet, as when you get earnings from YouTube, there's not taxes. So you have to take that out yourself. So if I was to give you, you know, let's say 10,000, you need to take 5,000 and put that to taxes. I would just suggest taking 50% and putting it towards taxes. So yeah, bear that in mind, guys, that eventually at some point you're going to have to pay taxes once you start earning more on YouTube. So bear that in mind in your cost of living if you're thinking about taking that step and moving out or something like that. And you're like, okay, I'm earning enough, I can do this, but always remember that. And eventually you would want to treat this like a business, guys. And if you're going to buy anything as well, make sure it's a business expense too. So if you feel like that, there's also like a business line as well saying like, don't buy anything unless you can write it off. So that's also something there that maybe you may not have to worry about just yet, but I want you guys to take this in and keep this in the back of your head. And as you're growing your YouTube, you'll see more opportunities arise as well, whether that be sponsorship, other opportunities. So yeah, always keep an eye out for that stuff. Now, there also are some steps you need to take to start even earning on YouTube. So it's not like back then where you could just upload videos and then get ads. There's also requirements for it. So it kind of separates people who sort of take it serious and people who don't take it serious, because you have to reach these requirements within 12 months. And that is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours in watch time. We did a video talking about that too. So what I'll do is I will link that up in the corner. You'll see it pop up on the screen now, on tips on how to get monetized on YouTube. So then you can start earning from YouTube, and who knows, this could be your full-time job one day. Now, bear in mind, depending on the content you make, again, will all depend on the ad revenue that you get from your content and what niche you're actually in, but also take into account about the copyright system. So let's say I use a song that I'm not supposed to use and I didn't get approved from it, and then I get a copyright claim on it, then that's also a loss in ad revenue that could possibly happen to a video, which could affect you. So you always want to watch out for things like that. So a big takeaway is you need to be consistent with it too. You just can't say, hey, I'm going to do really well this month and next month I'm not going to do any videos. So you have to be really consistent with YouTube, as YouTube fluctuates a lot, which makes it different from any job that you have to go in and clock in. Technically, you're your own boss, you're on your own time, and you kind of control the hours that you do and the hours that you work. But what I will say is that YouTube doing full-time has been a lot more work than working at any job I've ever worked at. So in the future, when you are doing YouTube full-time, if that's something you want to do, or you're doing something online as well where you don't actually have to go to work, but you're also working on your own business, and someone says, hey, can you make a living off that? You say yes. So yeah, I hope you found this video a little bit helpful. I'll get into more details about certain topics within this video later, but we're also working on some really cool stuff behind the scenes, so be on the lookout for that. But if you have any comments, also suggestions on videos you want to see me make, comment them down below. Anything you want to ask, I will try my best to cover a video on it as I read all the comments. But I wish you all the best rest of your day and much success. Take care.